Alright folks, welcome to the video. Anthony Special here with Hawkeye Traders. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Want to talk about the Nasdaq 100. I know we have a lot of intraday traders that follow us, and I think it's important to understand when, where, why potential market dynamics are going to change. And the leading indicator to that, guys, has always been and will always be volume. Okay? So Nasdaq's been in this incredible uptrend here. I mean, just really, had some morning volatility, but we have been, since we broke the prior high here, guys, we've ran like, I don't know, what's that? Almost 400 ticks, all right? We're talking about a significant move here on the Nasdaq. But how do you know when to call it quits, right? We all wish we could pick the top and we all wish we could pick the bottom, right? I mean, let's face it. We're human. We naturally have this urging desire to be right, okay? It's not about being right. It's about utilizing evidence, okay? When it comes to trading, you want to have evidence to believe that the thesis you're about to make has some merit to it. And I have found through the years that the best way for me to put a thesis together is to understand the interpretation of what's transpiring between volume and price action. I want to show you this, guys. You're going to see it and go, holy cow, how come I don't know how to do this? And I want you to learn it. And at the, I'm going to give you an opportunity to not only learn it, but to have our indicators as well. So just sit tight with me here for a quick minute. You can see the Nasdaq here makes a push, and eventually we end up what? We end up kind of stagnant along this level, right? We could all say that, hey, right here, we're banging against this level. We're having a really, really hard time pushing through it. We pull back just a little bit, only to then find what? Well, we have some support here as well. You can see the bodies of these candles are really being held right there. So we enter into what? A period of consolidation, a period of congestion. I don't really care what term you use, but as you can see, the Hawkeye pivots, these orange dots, are just kind of like banging back and forth. Well, then what transpires? We get this really super aggressive push to the upside on some of the highest buying volume that the market has seen all day long. And we plot what we call at Hawkeye a wide bar. What's a wide bar? A wide bar is an immediate alert to the trader saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Trader, you should be aware that something abnormal is transpiring right now. More often than not, and not always, but more often than not, these wide bars will depict whether it be immediate reversals or significant reversals for the balance of the day. Now, you can obviously see immediately we suffered what? A reversal, okay? So you can see at the high of that wide bar, we retested it, but we ultimately fell back through where we were previously suffering resistance, okay? Then we also fell back and through where we were previously finding what? Support, okay? We get some strong selling come in here, we turn around, and now what are we doing? As I'm shooting this video, we're starting to try to fight this wide bar again. May we overcome it into the closing bell? Perhaps. But how powerful would it be to know, A, when I see this is something we call a volume climax, right? You have this somewhat regulated amount of volume coming in and out of the market, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get this super obnoxious surge printing a wide bar. That, to me, screams short-term reversal or even potential session reversal. Well, again, I don't know what's going to happen next. Nobody actually does, but this will give you the idea in your head and say, hey, perhaps I need to make a decision, okay? I'm long the Nasdaq. I just witnessed a volume climax. Maybe the market goes higher, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe I should take a bunch of profit. Maybe I should tighten up my stop, right? It's just designed to trigger a thought process, right? Us as traders, what we look at, what we understand, what we interpret is designed to trigger a thought process. That thought process is going to lead us back to our trade plan and say, all right, when we see this, what do we do next? When I see a wide bar, I'm looking for one of two things to transpire. initial follow through, meaning the next candle closes above it. If the next candle or two does not, I'm looking at some form of reversal. Okay? And as you can see, guys, while I'm shooting this, this is not like replay mode. This is live market. You can see the timestamp down here, right? We've done what? We just reapproached the high of this wide bar, and what's happening? Well, guess what? We're starting to push back. If I clone this and I take the wick out of the equation, I can tell you almost with certainty, yep, look at that. We just tested the closing price of the wide bar. And what's happening? Immediately, we're starting to fall back. Look at this impulsing of buying volume. Unsuccessful in overcoming the wide bar. That wide bar, guys, could very well be the high for the session. All right? Maybe it won't be, but it could be. All right? And how powerful would it be to know I'm trading the Nasdaq long, I got this awesome trend, I'm up like 300 plus ticks, and I'm feeling great. And now all of a sudden, the market tells me, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Trader, you better start thinking this may be all the buyers got, right? That's why we call it a volume climax, right? Look at this thing. Guys, this is unplanned, 100%. This is not in replay mode. This is live market ticking, okay? Look at this. The market is absolutely falling back on the approach of the high of that wide bar. Now, can we find support and overtake it? Perhaps. But if we don't, the Hawkeye wide bar nailed it for the session. And even if it didn't, look at how much you would have had to suffer through had you been in that trade. The market fell back from the print of that wide bar a little over 145 ticks. Guys, that would make you sick to your stomach if you had the insight to know you could have taken the lion's share of your trade off, you could have exited your long completely, or you could have even thought about taking a reversal. So what I'd like you to do next is to go below this video. I'm going to put a webinar link there. In that webinar, you're going to be with me, all right? And we're going to dive into this relationship that is transpiring constantly between volume and price action. I need you to understand it, because the step after that is we want to put these indicators on your charting platform. TradeStation, NinjaTrader, TradingView, MetaTrader. I don't care if you're trading stocks, futures, Forex, cryptocurrencies, or options. The relationship between volume and price action paramounts everything. And I need you to understand it, because once you do, it becomes an absolute game changer. So head below, click on the link, consume the training webinar, take a piece of pen and paper, write down any notes you have, reach out to myself, my Hawkeye concierge team. Let us answer your questions. Let's get these indicators populated. Let's get you access to the Hawkeye Volume Mastery Library, okay? There's going to be videos in here walking you through everything I just did in this very short video, okay? We've been together now for just less than 9 minutes. It's super important to me that you understand the relationship between volume and price action, because, guys, it will become foundational to everything you do moving forward, and everything else that you're currently doing, you will likely leave behind. Why do I say that? Take it from a guy who has tested everything on the internet. I am a paying customer of Hawkeye, okay? I'm not a hired salesman. I paid for my own software. The software you're seeing on my screen is software I personally paid for. I was not reimbursed for it. I came back to Hawkeye and said, guys, listen, I have gotten rid of all the other stuff on my screen. I love what these indicators do. I understand what they do. I realize how powerful they are, and I want to teach it to everybody else. And they said, sure, we'll let you teach it. Why? Because I've proven it to work for myself, right? I work with traders all the time. I tell them, listen, you can put as much crap as you want on your reference chart, but when it comes to the chart you trade on, it should be volume and price action, because at the end of the day, guys, that's all that matters. So click that link below. Check out the training webinar. I'll see you there, okay? Write down any questions you have. Reach out to us. Let's get the indicators populating. Let's get you access to the Hawkeye Volume Mastery Library. You need to understand this stuff, guys, because it is absolutely game-changing. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing your success employing volume and price action.